downtown Milwaukee for Big East basketball, where the Marquette Golden Eagles host the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats of the MEAC Conference at the brand new Fiserv Forum in downtown Milwaukee. And with that, we welcome you inside the Fiserv Forum. Good afternoon. I'm Telly Hughes alongside the great Stephen Bardo, and the Golden Eagles broke in their new digs on election night by electing to drub UMBC by 25 points. And Stephen, what do you expect the Golden Eagles to do moving forward?
Well, this is a special season for Marquette, Telly, and these are the type of games that are statement games. It's easy to get up for the big boys, but I'm going to be interested to see if Marquette can continue that intensity that we saw in the lid lifter the other night.
That's right, and we'll see if Coach Wojo's guys can keep it going. Let's take a look at the starting lineups, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee, and the Golden Eagles will be led by Marcus Howard, the preseason Big East first-teamer, and Theo John will make his first career start after coming off the bench in 33 games last season. Bethune-Cookman will go with 3 seniors and 2 juniors as you take a look at Marcus Howard. Averaged 20.4 points last season, and the junior from Chandler, Arizona will look to get things going in this season. As we tip things off here at Fiserv Forum, Marquette will have first possession.
Tell you what, Marcus Howard may have the ultimate green light in college basketball, so he's always a weapon because he can let it go any point past half court.
That's right, and he did not have a good shooting night on Tuesday night, going 5 for 16, but did end up with 15 points against UMBC as Marquette will take it out on the baseline.
You know what, Telly, was really impressive about Marcus as well? 8 rebounds and 7 assists in that game. If he can have that kind of stat line, really elevate his club.
And speaking of it, Howard with the first shot, that's off. Malik Maitland will be the Wildcats point guard. He has the ball right now. Sufiani Diakite, number 11. Watch out for him, the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, and he's pretty athletic too.
Yes, he is, and this is a veteran ball club, as you alluded to, the starting lineup. They're not going to be flustered or intimidated by this stage.
First shot attempt by Isaiah Bailey. That's off the mark. Let's take a look at Bethune-Cookman and their head coach, Ryan Ritter, who's in his 2nd season, coming off a very impressive first season down in Daytona Beach, Florida. Picking up their 2nd ever MEAC regular season title under his first year in charge down in Bethune-Cookman. Marquette. Another 3. That's off. Theo John with the tip back. Theo John came off the bench in Tuesday's game and had a double-double, and it earned him his first career start.
And I tell you what, when Theo John is aggressive, he gives them a different element that you can get the ball inside, and if he can develop a go-to move and a counter, Telly, that's all he needs is a go-to move and a counter. It can really elevate Marquette.
Offensive foul called. Let's take a look at Coach Steve Wojciechowski. Wojo is in his 5th season and arguably has the most depth he's ever had here at Marquette.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And, you know, with that depth and the talent that they have, the high expectations come as well. And they will be tested early and often in that non-conference slate.
No basket. Offensive foul by Theo John. And a lot of expectations around this Golden Eagles program. As you just mentioned, Stephen, they were picked in the preseason coaches poll to finish 2nd. As we have a player down, it looks like Chantrez Davis, the 6'9" senior out of Atlanta, holding his head, looked like he took a shot.
And let's hope that he's okay. I mean, he went down. He's got a little blood, looked like trickling out his mouth. But Theo John right there.
Oh, yes, caught him in an inadvertent elbow right there. Hopefully he's okay. You never want to see anything happen, especially above the shoulders, but it looked like more of a busted lip as of now. But
yeah, but the way he's responding, Telly, I wouldn't be surprised. He may have a concussion, the way that he's grabbing his head. And, you know, a lot of times you get your bell rung, you try to get up as quickly as possible. This is a veteran player in Chantrez, senior out of Atlanta, and A lot of times you try to get right back. It's good to see him get up now, but
yes,
boy, he took quite a shot.
It looks like he'll make his way to the locker room, and we'll try to get an update on his status. Hopefully he's okay. No, he's actually going to sit on the bench for now.
Yeah, but he caught one, and I tell you, Theo John is just trying to play hard. There's no malicious intent whatsoever. Oh,
yes.
Wow, you can see the blood.
Yes, you definitely see the blood. Hopefully Davis will be okay. Looks like he's struggling.
You know what? He was trying to move his mouth. He might have gotten hit right on the jaw line. So he had to pay attention. He may have had something happen to his jaw, but you know, if you're Steve Wojciechowski, you don't mind the aggressiveness.
Yes.
Because he's just trying to establish position, Telly.
Right. Nothing malicious whatsoever.
Nothing at all. But, of course, the officials have to conference and come up.
Today's game is being officiated by Paul Excels, Matt Potter, and Anthony Franklin as they gather at the scorer's table to see if there's a flagrant foul here committed. But once again, if you slow-mo it looks like Theo John is just trying to establish position down low. Got his hands up high. No flagrant is called. Latrell Pope has checked in place of Chantrez Davis. As the officials clarify that it was just an inadvertent elbow, just a hard play. Unfortunate results as play continues here.
This young man right here had a really good game. Was very aggressive against DePaul with 12 points. Isaiah Bailey scoring the majority of them in the first half, but he's got a nice build at the two-guard slot and get to the rim as well.
He's definitely a scorer. Scored in double digits in 22 straight games last season. So he definitely knows how to put it in the hole. The senior out of Compton, California. Gets the first free throw to go to get the Wildcats on the board.
I wonder if he knows Snoop. Said he's from Compton, right?
He is from Compton.
Yeah,
and he's a senior, so he's a little older.
Yeah, he may know Snoop. We had to ask him at halftime. We can get a hold of him.
May have played in this football league.
Yeah, could have been. Nice three-quarter court pressure here by Bethune-Cookman.
And talking to their head coach, Ryan Ritter, at shoot-around this morning, he said that he definitely wants to have an up-tempo game, but he understands that at this level of competition, the athletes and the physicality might be a little off base, but this is how they play in their league play as they come up with the steal. That's Bailey, goes in for the flush.
And I think they're going to get more and more confident as they make plays like this, Telly. I'm telling you, when against DePaul, they had an outstanding first half. They were blow for blow with the Blue Demons. Nice job shooting the gap, Isaiah Bailey, and knowing what to do at the end.
So we'll see how Marquette responds to this pressure. As Maitland maybe defending a little too tough, getting a little handsy. That's his first personal foul.
I tell you, man, I know I sound old school. Paul Sells is one of the best officials we have in the game. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. But when you legislate contact out of the game, you change the game's fundamental tendencies.
As Hauser corrals it in the backcourt, kicks it out to Bailey. Bailey for three, off the back of the iron. Here comes the Wildcats. Malik Maitland on the push, drives to the cup, can't get the layup to go. Theo John grabs the defensive rebound.
I'll tell you what, Bethune-Cookman's going to have to battle on the glass.
Here's Howard. The scoop at the 10. Marcus Howard getting to the basket.
You know, and I like when he mixes up his game. He's known so much for his outside shooting, but he seems to be a little bit more aggressive getting to the rim early in this season.
Maitland with the pull-up. That's off the mark. Annam, near turnover. Bailey recovers it. There's Howard and Hauser. Those two will be working the two-man game quite a bit this season. Theo John with a good move.
You see the look, you see my raised eyebrows.
I do.
If Theo John can catch it, no hesitation, fake one way and come over his strong right hand jump hook, man, that's going to be tough to stop.
Theo John was very impressive in the season opener with his first career double-double. Ed Morrow, who will check in momentarily, got the start. And in the second game of the season, Theo John replaces him. Marquette with a good defense.
Marcus Howard getting to the rim, looking great with the offhand and with the smooth English at the finish.
FS2 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's the Golden Eagles with an early 2-point lead here at Fiserv Forum in downtown Milwaukee. Marquette's defense playing a big role in this game so far, forcing 3 turnovers within the first 5 minutes, and that was something they were able to do against UMBC, Stephen, holding the Retrievers to 22.6%. As you take a look at Chantrez Davis, who left the game earlier after an inadvertent elbow by Theo John, as he returned to the bench, and it looks like he's going to go back inside that locker room as he's still trying to shake it off. That was quite a shot that he took.
That's great.
Theo John.
Great work with our camera crew catching that right there. You can see his disgust, trying to come back out and wanting to be a part of his team, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to handle it.
That's right. We'll definitely keep an eye on him and hopefully have an update momentarily as we resume play. Before the break, it was a Wildcat turnover. And as I mentioned, that's something Coach Wojo really wants his team to be this season, is defensive-minded and not have to always rely on their offensive abilities.
And, you know, as you said, right, you hit it on the head, Telly. They could score the basketball of anybody in the country. With their Achilles heel last season was being able to get timely stops. They've got enough depth and they've got enough length to do so this season.
Ed Morrow called for the illegal screen. Morrow seeing his first action in today's ball game. He was a 2-year player for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, originally out of Chicago, sat out last season. And during his time with the Cornhuskers, he led the team in both rebounds and blocks. So he really gives the Golden Eagles an inside presence. As Joseph Chartouni also checks in for the Golden Eagles, as well as Joey Hauser, the younger brother of Sam Hauser. Jamal Cain also in. Out of bounds, Wildcats. It will be Golden Eagles basketball.
Diakite thought he suffered a little bump there getting to the rim, but no call. It's an unwritten rule in basketball. When you go on the road, you got to be 10 points better than your opponent, because you're not going to get some of those calls that you may get at home.
There's Morrow down low, up and in. If he doesn't have an NFL tight end body, I don't know who does.
Well, I mean, the bloodline is similar. You know, his dad played football in Nebraska, so it's not far from it, and that's going to be huge for his confidence.
Diakite up top, pulls up, short. Here's Annam. Sakar Annam looking to get on track. Turnover. Here's Clattrell Pope, and he's fouled by Jamal Cain.
Well, Ed Morrow. Take a look at that last play, Telly. He gets space. There's no double team. He realized it. Up fake. Nice pivot. Takes his time. Goes to the strong right hand off the glass. That's a patient move for a guy in Ed Morrow who got the game taken away from him last year due to transfer situations. That's tough when you're coming back. It's going to take him 5 to 6 games before he really gets his rhythm.
Yes, that certainly makes you hungry and appreciate the game more. When it's taken away from you, when you get a chance to put on that uniform again, it's about business.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And I'm sure he's a little bit more motivated as the emergence of Theo John starting to come on, and Theo's playing with a lot more confidence as well. So
Terrell Pope misses both free throws as the Golden Eagles try to push the tempo, but it's a turnover.
You know what happened in that situation? Jamal Cain 10 to 15 years ago would have run to the rim. He's running to the three-point line. Chartouni knew that he had a layup if he runs to the rim. He did not, thus a turnover.
Here comes Marquette. Little sloppy play, picked up. Gets it blocked by Morrow. Going up top to get that one. Here comes the Golden Eagles in transition. Ball bounces out of bounds. Wildcats basketball.
That's great hustle by Ed Moore. He doesn't give up on the play. Right there, Pope goes in thinking he's got an easy one. But what was Mark Gordon thinking? He was ahead of the plate. He passes it back to Pope and gets it blocked. I mean, Gordon, I understand unselfish play, but that hurt your team right there.
We got to pay attention to Marquette's turnovers. That was their 7th turnover within the first 7 minutes of this ball game. As the Wildcats gets another look.
I love what Steve Wojciechowski did. He took Joseph Chartouni out of the game, but put his arm around him and said, "Young man, settle down. You're moving too fast. You're trying too hard. Just settle down."
Play is stopped. Looked like there's an issue with the shot clock.
It seems that way, doesn't it? Something going on. It looks like Anthony Franklin's at center court, but it looks like they've gotten it worked out.
So the shot clock is reset at 25.
Now with Bethune-Cookman, with Maitland going out of the game, and Leon Red coming into the game, they're not quite as fast. Maitland is, in my opinion, a much more steady point guard and get his teammates opportunities.
Leon Red had 6 points against DePaul on Wednesday night in Chicago. As he tried to get things going, and he comes in like Vinny the Microwave Johnson. Doesn't take long.
I guess so. That's the toughest thing in the business. Come off the bench, cold step back three. That's a lot of confidence right there.
Hauser on the pump fake, fouled by Pope. Sam Hauser will head to the free throw line.
I tell you what, this is not easy, ladies and gentlemen, to come off the bench, Marcus Howard in your jersey, step back three, take those with you. Leon Red, Grand Rapids' finest.
Now the Wildcats lost by 22 in Chicago on Wednesday night, but the first 10 minutes of the first half, they were giving the Blue Demons everything they can handle.
They did, Telly. And when the only thing that changed the momentum of the game in the first half was that DePaul had to go to a zone. They were not guarding Bethune-Cookman very well in the man-to-man, but Bethune-Cookman was getting any shot they wanted to in those first 10 minutes.
Mark Gordon, who had a solid night on Wednesday night with 7 points off the Wildcats bench, ball on the floor. And Armani Collins is called for the travel.
I'm really impressed with Ryan Ritter, the head coach, because I would have lost my top right there. That was a lot of contact for no call. His kids are battling hard here in the first half.
Marquette trying to get things going on the offensive end. Joey Hauser. Another turnover. Number 8 for the Golden Eagles. Isaiah Bailey gets to the hole. That's 6 early points for Bailey.
And he has been extremely aggressive. It doesn't matter who's guarding him. He's taking him to the rim.
Here's Kane on the pull-up. That's off. And it's a battle on the floor. And we'll take a break. And with 11:32 to go, it's Bethune-Cookman up 1. Bethune-Cookman has used a 7-2 run over the past minute 48 seconds to take a 1-point lead over the Marquette Golden Eagles, and the story so far has been the Marquette turnovers. 8 turnovers so far. Stephen, they only had 11 turnovers for the game on Tuesday night against UMBC.
And so I think there's a couple things I think are at play here, Telly. One, the Golden Eagles are getting sped up. The defense of Bethune-Cookman has kind of gotten them off balance. And I think that Marquette's trying to make the home run play instead of making the simple next pass and allowing the system to work in their behalf.
A little baseball reference, keep hitting singles until you can get that triple or home run.
That's right.
Off the miss, here's Joey Hauser. That could get the Golden Eagles going. Joey Hauser with his first 2.
I tell you what, Joey Hauser may be a freshman, but that was an upperclassman move right there. Understanding where the defense was coming and just took a nice, simple reverse layup to get away from the defense.
There's Bethune-Cookman working the baseline. Foul is called on Sam Hauser, it looks like. But his little brother Joey getting it done on the other end. As Mark Gordon works the baseline, looking to draw another foul. Good defense by Joey. Here's Marcus, pull-up 3. And that draws a quick timeout by Bethune-Cookman because you don't want to get Howard going. We'll be back after the break. Marcus Howard's 3 has made it a 4-point Marquette lead in transition. This is hard to stop, Stephen, when you can just pull up and knock them down like that.
It is tough to stop when you have the ability and the confidence to elevate like that in a fast break situation. That's what makes Marcus Howard one of the more dangerous guards, not only in the Big East Conference, but around the nation.
Wildcats working the perimeter. Here's Leon Red. He finds Isaiah Bailey, who gets Theo John on the pump fake. And Bailey will head back to the free throw line. Quick update on Shontrez Davis, who left the game earlier. He will not return after taking an elbow to the head from Theo John, an inadvertent elbow.
That's really... I'm sorry, go ahead, tell me.
No, I'm just going to say Shontrez Davis, once again, will not return to today's ball game.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because he is a calming influence for Bethune-Cookman. And a double-digit score, close to 8 rebounds, or close to 9 rebounds a game last season. He's going to be missed, especially on the front line.
13 double-doubles by Davis last season. And he led the MEAC in rebounds. So that's a tough loss. Here's Annam. He finds Morrow. Morrow can't get it to go. Good hustle. Give Marquette another chance. Hauser with the pump fake. Back to Hauser for 3. That's off the mark as Pope clears it for the Wildcats.
That's great 2-man action, though, by Sakar Annam and Hauser.
Here's Bailey. Unfortunately, Pope impatient. Ball still on the rim. That would be basket interference. No basket. And that was going to fall.
I don't know about that.
You sure?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I don't know. It looked good.
I think Pope saw something that we didn't. I think that was coming off. But that was a heck of a move anyway.
So here's Marquette. Howard at the top. He pulls up again. He's fouled. Looked like on the 3. Fouled by DeAndre Dufus. His first personal foul.
Marcus Howard for Marquette shooting 3.
So Dufus, what happened was you can't hit the opposing, you can't hit the shooter in the face with a hand. That's what Paul Sells is explaining to him right now. If you go straight up, At the ball, that's not a foul, but you cannot put your hand to touch the face or the forehead of the shooter.
Yes, you're taught to put a hand in the face, but not literally on his face,
exactly,
right?
Exactly.
So Duff is called for the foul. Howard at the line for 3.
And we saw something that you rarely see as a missed free throw by Marcus Howard.
Yes, second in the nation last year at 94% from the line. Howard with 7 points now. The Wildcats break Marquette's press. Bailey can't get it to go. Good defense by Marquette.
Great challenge by Ed Morrow at the rim. I thought that was going to be a poster.
Howard again. Howard has a different look in his eyes this afternoon. After struggling on Tuesday night, I think he wants to redeem himself and say, okay, let me get used to my new home digs here.
I agree. And I think what happened, he got that first layup to drop. Anytime you get that first one to go, that confidence level elevates.
Howard has scored the last 8 Marquette points. As he is in full attack mode.
Great defense right there by Ed Morrow without fouling. Built a wall at the rim. And then Marcus Howard says, you know what? You got to pick me up from the bus, from the parking lot, because he's got unlimited range. I mean, I can see elements of why Marquette, in my opinion, can win the Big East Conference. When Greg Elliott comes back from his thumb injury, they were essentially have 2 starting 5s that they can rotate in and out. Coach Wojciechowski said before the season, about 5 games in, they're going to have an issue because some guys are going to want to play more than they're able to play. But from a coach's standpoint, that's a good problem to have.
Howard gets both of them to go. Howard has scored 10 points in the last minute and 51 seconds. But going back to what you said about playing time, I talked to Wojo at this morning's shoot-around, and I said, is everyone content with the minutes they received on Tuesday? He said, it's simple, and they all understand it. If you're playing well, you're going to play. If not, you're going to sit next to me.
And you know what? As a player, you've got to respect that.
Bailey with another bucket. Isaiah Bailey now up to 9 points, keeping this Wildcats team in this one as Howard finds Hauser. We're going to hear that combo a lot this season. Sam Hauser draining the 3.
And the funny thing is, you're not going to know which Hauser it is sometimes. It could be Sam, it could be Joey, because both of them can stroke the 3.
You know, I am the youngest of 5 in my family, and until you can get your name up, you're just going to be called Lil Bro.
Okay, so that's what we're going to call him?
We're going to have to call him Lil Bro. With another 3.
So what are we going to call Marcus Howard then? Big Bro?
Bottoms. Because every time he shoots, it's bottoms.
Great job adjusting in the air, finding Hauser along the baseline. And Marcus Howard, new nickname, Bottoms.
Welcome back to Fiserv Forum in downtown Milwaukee. Golden Eagles up by 12 over Bethune-Cookman. Let's go inside the huddle with Coach Steve Wojciechowski.
You got to keep your chest in front. You got to guard the ball. Keep your chest in front. We got 2 stops in a row. We need another kill. We got to get a stop coming out of this timeout. Where are they hitting on the ball?
As Coach Wojo continuing to talk about defense and stress everything on the defensive aspect, because this team is only going to go as far as how well as they can defend.
I agree. And if you're going to have an elite team, you always hear me say this, Telly, offense sells tickets, but defense wins championships. And if you can't get timely stops late in the game in crucial situations, you're not going to be very successful.
Marquette continue to have bodies between their opponent and the basket as Marcus Howard on the attack once again. It's a foul on the floor. Marquette on an 18-5 run. 13 of those 18 have come from Marcus Howard.
I like right there, Sakar Annam. Really good recognition. Maitland switched out on him, and he just put it down on the deck and drew the contact and the foul. Smart decision.
Howard pull up. Same results. After missing his first 2 shots, Howard has now hit his last 5.
And look at the look on his face. Look how intense he is on the defensive end. He is a special player.
Preseason Big East first team selection. Howard, after averaging 20.4 his sophomore year, poised to have a big junior season. Here's Bailey stepping inside the 3-point line. Good mid-range jumper there. Bailey up to 11 points. Here comes Annam, who overlays that one. Here's Malik Maitland for 3. That's off.
See, Maitland, I would have gone to Isaiah Bailey. He had the hot hand. And as a point guard, you have to recognize that. I know he wants to get on the scoreboard, but his time will come. But trying to get back in this game, you got to get the hot man to basketball.
That's right. Turnover, Marquette. Here comes Diakite. All the way to the hole. He can't get it to go. Here's Howard. Once again, after missing his first 2 shots, Marcus Howard getting that layup to go early. Really instilled a lot of confidence for him to just come down and pull up J's like that. Howard has been incredible this first half. Once again, on Tuesday night, he struggled in the season opener, going 5 for 16 from the field, 2 of 12 from 3. And he said, that ain't happening this afternoon.
No, you know he got in the gym and got his rhythm back together. And, you know, he's such a student of the game. You know, I asked him who's the best Fortnite player on his team, and does he play Fortnite? He said, absolutely not. So for a guy his age, that's very unusual.
Yes.
So he's not he's a gamer, but he's not a gamer in the sense of playing Fortnite like the rest of his teammates and possibly the majority of college basketball.
Howard sinks a couple of free throws, now up to 20 points. 18 of those 20 have come in the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds, so he has gotten warmed up and went straight from 0 to 10. On the drive, that's Leon Red is fouled. Fouled by Joey Hauser. His first personal.
Tell you what, Leon Red, he may not make the best decisions, but when he makes a decision, there's no hesitation. And he's got the coolest shoes in the gym. I mean, I've not seen that color combination on some kicks.
Yeah, what do we have going here? I'm sure there's somebody's shoes. There's so many shoes out nowadays.
But okay, now what I like though, he's got the Bethune-Cookman colors in with all the other colors, so
yeah,
it actually works.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the blue it comes in, but the rest of it is all good. There might be like this high school color there, you know.
Hey, you know what? He's going to continue to wear him throughout the season if he continues to play like this in the first half.
Red get a couple of free throws to go to make it a 13-point ball game. Here's Howard as they try to get the ball out of his hands, which is a good idea if you're Bethune-Cookman. Morrow moving a little too fast, called for the travel.
Something's up between Ed Moore on the front line of Bethune-Cookman. There's a lot of chatter between Ed and some of the players. Pope, he just said something to Isaiah Bailey. Have to keep an eye on that.
Well, unless they're going to get in the weight room and add about 20 pounds before the second half, they might want to chill out on that.
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Bethune-Cookman's still in the game.
They are still in the game.
I mean, and Bailey is going for his, so Marquette's got to be careful here.
Isaiah Bailey has been putting on a show in this first half.
I mean, he's 6'6". He's got great strides and length, and you see he's also got really good body control. He's slender. He's one of those Will Barton type guys who, you know, you look like he's going to blow away in a windstorm, but he's a lot stronger than he looks.
And on that possession, it was good defense, but it was a case of better offense.
That's right. Now Jamal Cain is talking to Isaiah Bailey. Paul Sells, Matt Porter, and Anthony Franklin may need to pull these guys together.
But if you're Bethune-Cookman, you play a couple of Big East opponents, and you really don't have anything to lose. You come up here, these guys are excited to be playing in an NBA arena. This is something they don't get a chance to do often, and they figure, why not? And that was something that Coach Wojo really expressed with his ball club during shoot-around, because he wanted to make sure that they didn't take these guys too lightly. He looked at a couple of upsets around. As you look at Bethune-Cookman, had an historic season last season, averaging 81, basically 82 points a game. And you can see all the other firsts they had in their school history. But going back to Coach Wojo, what he was expressing this morning at shoot-around, he said, look at some of the upsets you saw yesterday. Buffalo wasn't supposed to beat West Virginia. And so you have these teams that come in, they're hungry, they don't have anything to lose, they're going to play really hard, and you have to make sure that you're not caught off guard.
That's true. And, you know, with the tendency early in the season with a power conference team like Marquette against a team from the MEAC is to relax. The normal tendency for younger players is to relax. And so that's why Steve Wojciechowski has to stay on top of them to make them understand. And SIU goes down to Kentucky and pushes Kentucky to the last 5 minutes of the game. Yes. So that's another example of what you just alluded to.
Yes, absolutely. Here's Hauser working the block. Goes up over Pope and in. Good, strong move by the freshman.
I see why everybody was so high on Joey Hauser. He's got a terrific feel. And for a young guy, he's rarely rushed. A lot of young guys, you see them rush what they're trying to do, but not him.
Hauser, the redshirt freshman out of Stevens Point. As there's a whistle, looks like Jamal Cain is called for the foul.
Watch how, look how patient he is. Swings through, gets to the baseline, uses his height and weight advantage to get an easy deuce. That's an old school feel, an old school game for the youngster and Joey Hauser.
Cain was whistled for his second personal foul. As Isaiah Bailey back on the free throw line. He's had a solid first half with 15 points, now make it 16.
I'm going to tell you something. Isaiah Bailey's going to be in somebody's summer league. You mark my words.
Wow,
he's going to get
a big statement.
I'm looking at him. Look at his body, his ability to score. He stays within himself. You don't see him get outside of his range. He's not taking contested threes. He's got a mid-range game, and he gets to the rim with great length.
And not only he can score, he led the team with 4.8 assists last season. So he does have an all-around game. They're going back to the well. Hauser kicks it out this time. Back to Anno for three. Count it. Sakar Anno gets in the scoring column with his first 3 points this afternoon.
There has not been a player in this Marquette program that has improved their game as much as Sakar Annam from his freshman year till now.
That was a good move by Houston Smith, but can't get it to drop. Here comes Marquette. Howard on the push.
Marcus Howard wanted a foul right there, but didn't get it.
Another turnover. Here comes Chartouni. Joey on the drive. Has a smaller man on him. Kicks it out. Annam. Count it. Making 2 for 2.
Joey Hauser is a player. I mean, he could have taken the guard in the post and done his thing, but he set his teammate up knowing that Sakar Annam had just hit a 3.
Has great court awareness. Here's Bailey. That's off. Big bro Sam gets it. How cool is it that you can play with your little brother, man?
I asked Sam that before the season started. I said, is it a problem trying to babysit your brother? He said, nah, he's cool.
And especially when you got game like that.
That's right. That is
sure
right.
You can belong. Just like they used to do it growing up.
Yep, that's right. Dad's got to be beaming with pride to see two of his sons out here on this floor and looking quite comfortable.
Here's Bailey on the drive. Sam comes over, denies him. Here's brother Joey finding Sam. Pull up three. Short.
I'll tell you what, Telly, that was the only three-point shot that's been short for Marquette this afternoon. Sakar Annam, not known for his three-point range, but he's worked his tail off in the offseason and is paying dividends.
Download the app today.
Marquette has opened up a 9 lead over Bethune-Cookman here at the brand new Fiserv Forum. This is the new home of the Golden Eagles as you take a look at a few facts. And this place holds 17,500. But Steve is really impressed and enamored by the Panorama Club with view of Milwaukee because of what, Stephen?
The silent disco, baby.
Hey, where else can you find that?
I'm telling you, so for those that don't know what a silent disco is, when you go in, you're not hearing anything, but you put headsets on, you can have your choice of hip-hop, country, rock, R&B. They need to put some reggae up there, but I don't know if they have reggae. But I think that's a tremendous addition to this venue and that panoramic view. Tell you what, Mike Faulkner said it's worth seeing. I'm going to have to check it out.
Well, don't go up there during halftime, man. I'm going to need you here back in the second half, all
okay,
right?
I'll wait till after the game.
Okay, cool. Fiserv Forum, a beautiful brand new facility. It's the home of the Milwaukee Bucks, and they are 6-0 in their home building, and the Golden Eagles are now 1-0. Looking to make it 2-0 today, as you just saw the Panoramic Club, and we're going to try to keep Bardo out of there at halftime, but maybe we can both check it out after the game.
There you go. We can do that. The way Marquette's rolling, it's going to be a festive atmosphere. They can continue this effort. I mean, they blew this game quickly.
Yes. Marquette on an 8-0 run. They've had several runs in this first half to make it an 18-point lead. Coming up on the Jeep Grand Cherokee halftime report, Rob Stone, Bill Raftery, Steve Lavin, and Jim Jackson will have an outlook on Marquette's season, plus highlights and analysis from our first half.
Man, wait a minute. Rob Stone, Bill Raftery, Steve Lavin, and Jim Jackson?
How do you get all those power players in one building at one time, right?
I'm just asking, is Rob Stone going to be able to talk?
We're going to find out at halftime, yeah. Along with a lot of good information on Marquette's outlook this season.
Yeah, no, that's a great group, and I love Raph, man. He's my all-time favorite. And I told a story last year about him taking an 8-hour flight from Hawaii back to Chicago, and he answered every question I asked about the business, Telly, when I was in college.
Oh, wow.
And the only thing that I didn't get was some of his red wine. That was it. I got everything else.
I heard it's tough for him to kind of share that, but
no, Raph is the best, man. I love that guy.
Another Wildcat turnover. Marcus Howard on the attack. Make that 26 first half points from Marcus Howard.
Can somebody explain to me why he was not on preseason All-American team?
Have no idea.
I mean, if you can show me 5 guards that are better than Marcus Howard in the country, I've got some money for you, because I don't know if they exist.
Howard can get it done. He does have that look in his eye. Pull up. It's kind of a heat check, but it's also a shot that he can make.
Well, Steve Wojciechowski understands it. When you have a talent like that, you got to let him go. You got to give him the leeway and the space and the confidence to take those shots.
Leon Red called for the carry. As we take another look at Marcus Howard on the offensive end.
Well, the jump shot sets up his drive. You have to crowd him. Great job by Marquette.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
This is a large 3-topping pizza from Domino's. You can carry one out for $7.99 every day. This is a 3-topping handmade pan pizza from Domino's, and now you can also carry one out for $7.99 every day. This is a logo from Domino's, and this is the end of the commercial from Domino's.
The Volkswagen Atlas with available panoramic sunroof. Life's as big as you make it.
22.7 seconds to go in the first half. 49-27, Marquette up. Marcus Howard has been the engine on the offensive end with 26 points, draining 4 of 6 threes.
I mean, and he's looked pretty doing it, too. I mean, not a lot of forced shots. That last one was somewhat forced, but he's played within himself. When he didn't have his opportunities, he's setting his teammates up.
Shot clock dark. 5 to go. Howard with 3 on him. 2 seconds. And Sam Hauser is fouled. Wildcats a little too aggressive, trying to trap Hauser with 1.5 seconds to go in the first half. Hauser will head back to the free throw line.
Boy, and if you're head coach Ryan Ritter, got it. You almost lose some hair follicles on that one right there. 1.5 seconds left. Sam Hauser had his back turned to the basket. It's going to be very difficult for him to get a quality look.
And Hauser knocks down both free throws. He's up to 7 points in this first half. The Wildcats inbound. That is no good. And after the first 20 minutes here in downtown Milwaukee, it's the Marquette Golden Eagles up 51-27 over the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. We'll send it to our Fox Sports studios in LA after the break. FS2 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. As we welcome you back to Fiserv Forum for second half action between the Wildcats and Golden Eagles. Marquette up 51-27 as we get the second 20-minute half going here. Golden Eagles going down low. The way they started the game to Theo John. John with 6 points, 3 of 3, very effective down low.
And you know what? Marquette doing a good job because Chantrez Davis went out that inadvertent elbow to the head. He would have been a defensive stalwart in that situation.
That's right. Clattrell Pope will start in place of Davis in the second half. As Isaiah Bailey will head back to the free throw line. Theo John whistled for his 3rd personal foul.
Tell you what, Bailey is starting to get the front line of Marquette into a little bit of foul trouble with his attacks on the rim.
And you pointed out a very interesting stat from that first half from Bethune-Cookman's offense.
Listen, Bailey was 5 of 9 from the field. The rest of the team was 3 of 17 from the field combined. And so Bailey's getting his, but the rest of his teammates are really struggling. I think a lot of that to do with Marquette's aggressive nature on the defensive end.
He's certainly getting his. 18 of Bethune-Cookman's 28 have come from the hands of Isaiah Bailey. Here's Diakite on the drive. Swiped away by Ed Morrow.
Nice job by Ed Morrow. I know looked like they couldn't save it, but Ed Morrow does a good job of not sending it into the 5th row. Tries to keep it in play. Nice job defensively.
Here's Bailey on the attack again. Can't get that one to go. Here's Howard. Stolen by Bailey. Bailey has been so active this entire game. They've got to question that move as Howard stands in there and takes the charge.
Yeah, Isaiah Bailey, he had his teammate Malik Maitland coming on his right side. If he hesitates a little bit, a simple drop pass, that easy deuce. Excellent job by Marcus Howard drawing the contact.
Or at least make a move. You're going straight to the basket where the guy is standing. Hauser off on the three. Maitland cannot save it. Ball will stay on Marquette's end.
You saw Bailey and Marcus Howard check on each other. They had a little collision there. That's good sportsmanship. Tell you what, man, Marcus Howard's a guy that could run for political office, man. This dude is, oh, wow. You got to drill it.
Morrow, you got to put it down at some point.
He went from Whitefish Bay to downtown Milwaukee without bouncing a basketball.
I thought someone lifted his leg or something. Like I didn't see what really happened.
Oh my goodness.
Here's Maitland for three. That's off the mark. Sakar Anum with another rebound. His 6th on the afternoon. Diakite pulls up. Pope trying to convince the official that it did not go off of him.
See, but that's why I like Paul Sells, because he could have called over and back, or you give the ball to Marquette. Which would you prefer?
Exactly.
And, you know, you keep the game going. So I like that.
Here's Sam on the baseline, working against Bailey. Bailey calls for the foul. Sam's too heady of a player to fall for those pull the chair from underneath you type of defensive moves that Bailey was trying to do. Hauser very patient, taking his time, gets the foul call.
And he knew he had the weight advantage, height advantage. Just takes his time.
Here's Brandon Bailey off. Bailey has had a quiet afternoon. Here's the other Bailey, Isaiah Bailey for Bethune-Cookman. Now up to 20 points.
Oh, what a screen by Morrow.
Howard for three.
I'm going to tell you something. Malik Maitland, he might try to go up and knock his teammate upside the head, because you can get hurt like that when a guy doesn't call a pick.
Yes, especially when you're running into a brick wall like Ed Morrow.
Yep. And here it goes again.
Howard baseline. Short on that attempt. Diakite with a defensive rebound.
You can tell the intensity in my voice, Tilly, because I've been hit with one of those picks before.
It's not fun.
I wanted to slap Lowell Hamilton upside his head. You can get your bell rung like that.
Yeah. Do you remember when you got hit like that?
Oh, yeah. Kip Jones against Purdue. And I ran to Kip Jones, and I could not hear for a half. I lost the hearing in my left ear for a half. That's before they had concussion checks. It was 2 Advil and get you behind back on the court.
So who did you chew out of that flying Illini team? Who was it? Was it Battle?
No, it was Lowell Hamilton, because he didn't call. He failed to call out the pick.
Okay, I just wanted to know which one of your teammates heard a mouthful from you. Here's Howard, another three. He has found the rhythm this afternoon. Now up to 32 points. Is that 52-point high mark in jeopardy? We don't know what we're witnessing here.
Yeah, I think the spread of the game right now with the success that Marquette is having, I doubt if they can continue, I doubt Marcus will allow him to get that much more time on the floor to be able to get those points. But I could be wrong.
Well, it looks like he has an eye for it. It's not going to be because he's not trying to get it. Anum gets the members bounce in the lane. Sakar Anum now up to 8 points.
For the young players at home, you may not have the skill set of a Marcus Howard, but you can do what Sakar Anum has been able to do in his career. Work his tail off. Develop offensive skills that were not there his freshman season.
Here's Houston Smith. Shakes Bailey. Gets it off before the shot clock goes off. Here's Howard. Looking down low to Morrow. That's right, big fella. The bullet in the bucket. Ed Morrow.
I'll tell you what, Marcus Howard is having himself quite an afternoon, doing a little bit of everything, and he's come up with a new nickname, Bottoms.
Up 63-32 as they've opened things up over to the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Let's take a look at the preseason coaches poll, and you see Marquette is picked to finish second behind reigning NCAA champion Villanova Wildcats. But Stephen, you seem to think that Marquette can actually win the Big East this season.
I do. I think we're seeing an improved defensive team, which was a liability for them in years past. They have much more depth. They have much more size. When Greg Elliott comes back from the thumb injury, they will have 10 rotational players that they can go to. So with any situation, if it's the 1-3-1 matchup zone from Xavier, if it's the aggressive man-to-man tough defense from Villanova, if it's the grinded out Providence Flyers, Marquette can play any style that is presented against the Big East.
You just mentioned Greg Elliott, who had thumb surgery back in October, and he's expected back at some point in December. And that's another guy, like you said, the sophomore out of Detroit. As you take a look at him right now, he's really going to be able to help this team.
Oh, I mean, from a defensive standpoint, he's already elite. Great length, and, you know, he'll be able to take a lot of pressure off of his wing mates in terms of Jamal Cain and Hauser.
There's Morrow on the block. Cross court to Cain. Cain drops it. Jamal Cain with the three. Shot 47% from three last season.
Yeah, Jamal Big Daddy Cain is stunting from the three-point line early in the year. He's another guy that when he really commits to the defensive end, he can be elite.
As David Francis with the three. We'll see how this Wildcats offense is affected. Isaiah Bailey was forced to leave the game with his fourth foul, and he's been all of their offense this entire game. So someone is going to be forced to step up for Bethune-Cookman the rest of the way.
Yeah, Ryan Ritter, the head coach, though, I'm sure is quietly enjoying this moment, because there will be times during the season, whether it's foul trouble, injury, where you are without your main guys, you still have to compete.
Joey misses a rare wide open three from the corner. Bodies on the floor. Jamal Cain calls for the foul.
Nice job by Cain. Great kick out along the baseline. He made himself available to the dribble drive.
And that was Cain's third personal foul. On the floor for Marquette is Sakar Anam, Joseph Chartouni, Jamal Cain, Joey Hauser, and Matt Held is checked in. The only four-year scholarship senior on Marquette's roster is Mark Gordon, called for the travel. Trying to do a little too much right there.
And I understand. I mean, they're down 29 on the road. You know, sometimes you're going to break away from the routine, trying to get your points.
Hauser can't get the short baby hook to go. Here's Wally Parks rocking the Kurt Rambis glasses. Up and in.
Man, but I tell you what, Kurt Rambis wish he could take it full court and go to the hole with the offhand. Oh, my goodness, Kurt Rambis. Great reference.
Here's Parks. Strong move to the cup, though.
Yeah, it was. And he knew he had an advantage, and he's got the short shorts on, so he's really old school with the Rambis glasses and the short shorts.
Yeah, he has a lot going on there.
Yeah, I think that's coming back, though.
Why? I have no idea.
Well, you know, it's
I'm sorry, I'm talking to a guy that grew up wearing the short shorts.
Oh, here we go.
And And
who was the first college basketball team to wear the baggy shorts? Let me see if you're a real historian. Because everybody will say one team, but
I know everyone will say probably the Fab Five and stuff like that, but
who was the first?
Look, I remember the Flying Illini in 1988.
Okay.
Come on now, I'm not that young.
Okay.
I'm not that old either, but I'm not that young.
well done, Telly.
Final Four in the King Dome out in Seattle.
Well done, Telly. No, we were rocking some Speedos there, though, freshman, sophomore year.
Showed all your thighs.
Yes.
Marquette turns it over. That was a problem in the first half. Not so much in the second half, but I'm sure out of this really good performance, Coach Wojo is going to point at that, and he is not going to be happy about it.
No, and Coach Woj understands it. When you have a special opportunity like the Golden Eagles do this season, he's going to really harp on the little things. You know, the specialty things, taking care of the basketball, making the extra pass, all those things build over a season to create a special championship contender.
Yes, you do not want to create bad habits. As Mark Gordon drains the three. It's now 66-42, Marquette. Marquette up big. We'll be back after the break. FS2 College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee, as BCU has used an 8-0 run to chip into Marquette's 24-point lead, but no matter how much the Golden Eagles have been up, Coach Wojo is still very much attentive to the details, and he was not happy during that last timeout.
Yeah, and if you were able to see that timeout, if you were a viewer, you would maybe puzzled why he was so upset based on the score. But again, it's the habits that he's trying to instill consistently, regardless of the score, that will give them a chance to compete for a Big East title.
Third time's a charm. Marcus Howard knocks down a three after 2 offensive rebounds. He now has 35.
And watch this defensive effort, this possession by Marquette. They're going to get after it.
Time. 69-42 is your score. We'll have more after these messages. Tomorrow, it's a great slate of NFL action highlighted by Drew Brees and the Saints taking on Andy Dalton and the Bengals, or the Chargers battle the Raiders. It's all on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check your local listings for the game in your area. As the Saints, who dat, took down the previously unbeaten Los Angeles Rams and now sit atop of the division at 7-1. Carolina lost to Pittsburgh on Thursday. They got drugged in the Steel City. They're now 6-3 and in second place. So you looking at me strange. I know my NFL stuff too, man.
I'm checking you out. I'm like, I'm impressed. I mean, you know, I'm like, go ahead, tell me. Now, that's not because you're a Steelers fan, is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I almost said St. Louis Rams. As we have a foul on the jump shot.
Marquette foul number 1.
Armani Collins would head to the free throw line. Appears he was behind the arc, so he will shoot 3.
Yeah, you talked about, you referenced this earlier, Brendan Bailey, the freshman, he's really struggled here this afternoon, and I think his upside is tremendous. Son of Thurl Bailey, and coming off of a 2-year church mission, so I'm sure they're hoping his body will tend to fill out a little bit quicker, Taylor.
Yes, you don't come across too many 21-year-old freshmen, but as you mentioned, he completed a Mormon mission this past summer, committed to Marquette back in 2015, and they're expecting big things out of him. He's very athletic. He can shoot it. He can defend.
Yeah, you know, I think I'm always amazed at guys that can do those missions and then come back and be effective. I mean, you're out of the game for 2 years.
Yes.
At your prime. I mean, and I really respect the commitment to his religion. But it's got to, you got to come back and take some time to get your confidence and rhythm back. So, but you can.
Isaiah Bailey back in and off the window. You can count it. Isaiah Bailey now with 22 points, but he does have 4 fouls, so we'll see how aggressive he is on this end. Howard with the bump, creating some space. Short J.
That's so pretty. I mean, there's not a shot in the repertoire that he doesn't have. He's got runners. He can shoot the 3 off the catch of the bounce. We saw him on a very difficult left-handed layup to start his scoring binge, and he can get him in a hurry. 24 of his 26 first-half points came in the last 10:44 of the first half.
You have a couple of Golden Eagles fighting over the rebound, but you'd rather have that aggression having 2 guys going after it than none of them wanting to go. As Marcus Howard continues his onslaught of scoring this afternoon.
Yeah, just a nice chicken wing to get the defender off, create some space. That mid-range game that's really been lost in college basketball due to analytics, in my opinion, Telly. You can mid-range guys to death if you know what you're doing. I get the 3-point shot, I get the weapon, I get to the rim, but mid-range game, I mean, you can take pounding off your body if you can learn to score without all that contact.
Here's Sam Howard from the top of the key. You can count that one. Sam Howard drains the 3. He now has 10 points. Sam Hauser.
You're all right. I understood the Freudian slip. Marcus Howard is having such a good game.
My apologies.
No, I get it.
I have said Marcus Howard's name quite a bit this afternoon.
Yes, you have. And good reason.
Here's Bailey from the corner. That's an air ball. Here's Howard looking to push. Crossover. Down low to Theo. Theo can't handle the pass. We got the Gavitt games coming up that will feature a lot of good matchups between the Big East and the Big Ten. And Stephen, there is a big slate of games on FS1, but you said there's the one that everyone should watch out for, and we'll get back to it in a second. Here's Joey Hauser all the way to the cup. He underlays it. Pope gets the rebound.
And Hauser's mad at himself for that. Just didn't have enough explosion at the end. But still a smooth move to get there.
Here's Pope paying off the pass from Maitland. Clattrell Pope now has 3 points. But those Gavitt games, those are going to be some good matchups coming up next week.
Oh, my goodness. Are you kidding? The key matchup, Michigan at Villanova, everyone's paying attention to. No doubt, great matchup. The best matchup on that slate is Marquette at Indiana.
Yes, you were at Indiana last night, and you got a chance up close and personal to see how the Hoosiers look. How do you feel like Marquette will match up against them?
The reason I think that will be the marquee matchup, Telly, is because Indiana's very similar to Marquette in terms of their depth. Like, they can go 9-10 deep. They've got size. They've got length. And Romeo Langford, ladies and gentlemen, is the real deal. That young man, people in college basketball, I know they're paying attention to the 3 freshmen down at Duke, but you better pay attention to Romeo Langford in Indiana because he's not going to be around long.
That's Theo John with the and another one, but he'll get called for the foul on his second one. And on that note, we'll take another break. 76-48, Marquette up big. Under 8 to go here at Fiserv Forum in downtown Milwaukee. Marquette up 76-48. Let's go in the huddle with Coach Woj.
And it's like everybody, when you get the ball, feels like you got to do something. Let the ball find the best shot. Let the ball find the best shot. Pinch on this. Watch for a change in defense.
I absolutely love that, Telly. He said, let the ball find the best shot. If that's the realest thing I've heard all week. I'm serious. Let the ball find the best shot. So he's trying to take the pressure off Joseph Chartouni, who's had a struggling afternoon handling the basketball. He's taking the pressure off his team. Just make the easy pass. Let the ball find the best shot. I'm using that.
Chartouni with 3 turnovers, and he had them all in a short amount of time in that first half, and that just resonates with me as well, because you really have to think about it. When you don't dribble as much, there's a less of an opportunity to turn the ball over.
That's right.
So if the ball finds the best shot, that means the ball has to move.
That's right.
And it's not going to find the best shot by you pounding the ball.
That's right. Unless, you know, you're Bethune-Cookman and your name is Isaiah Bailey. Outside of that, the ball needs to move.
Exactly. As Joey Hauser called for the travel.
Well, that's not quite the way that Coach Wolves drew it up, but fortunate enough for Marquette, they're still enjoying a 26-point lead. We also heard something in that huddle previously that he doesn't want Bethune-Cookman getting to 50 points. Well, ladies and gentlemen, they're at 50 now.
They're at 50. I don't know what the consequences are, but
I mean, isn't that a coach, though? You got 7+ minutes left to go in the game, and he doesn't want you to score 2 more points. I mean, come on. Like, that's the thing that's funny to me. You know, and I've been on that side, and Coach Henson used to say stuff like that to us, and we'd sit there like nod our head like, yeah, sure, Coach. And then we break and come on court like, what is he talking about?
like, what is he? Can't he see the clock?
And I hope Coach Henson is listening. Love you, Lou Henson, Hall of Fame coach. Did a great job throughout his career.
Well, you want to talk about a guy that was born to coach? Look no further than the guy that's sitting on the bench for Marquette.
Great call.
Coach Wojo, he lives for this. Every possession means so much. You can just see it in his face.
That's right.
Does he look like a coach that's up 24?
Not at all. Looks rather pensive right now.
Here's Annam driving baseline. Kick. Good ball movement. Joey Hauser for 3.
Oh, what a touch.
Great touch. That's called a soft jump shot there. Joey Hauser, the redshirt freshman, now with 9 points. Marquette getting it done on the defensive end, too. Joseph Chartouni with the charge.
The ball found the best shot, didn't it?
On that one.
You saw Sakari Annam go baseline, swung it to the corner. They swung it out to Chartouni at the top, and he got it over to Hauser with an open look. So that's the type of execution Coach Rose wants to see as this game starts to dwindle down.
Touched every part of the 10, and then eventually the bottom of the nets. Here's Joey looking down low for Ed Morrow. When you're a big guy, you can't have it down by your waist. You give everybody an opportunity to grab it as Maitland converts on the Euro step.
Oh, that was pretty. Malik Maitland, who hadn't had that much success on the offensive end this afternoon, but in order for Bethune to be any good, he's going to have to.
Morrow with an easy one down low. Maitland, not this time. Maitland had to remember he's only 5'9". Well, as Jamal Kane sends it the other way. Let's take a look at the preseason All-Big East first team. Marcus Howard represents Marquette. And you look at Shamori Pons, who is the preseason player of the year for St. John's. And I know that guy can fill it up.
He can fill it up. And one of the reasons why St. John's is being looked at as one of the upper echelon teams in this league is, one, because of Shamori Pons, but 2, because of Mustafa Heron, the transfer from Auburn, who is immediately eligible. He can score in a phone booth. So I tell you what, St. John's is going to be tough matchup night in, night out.
Here comes Marquette. Joey Howard pushing it. He is fouled. We saw Marcus Howard on the first team of Big East preseason selection. Sam Hauser is a second team Big East preseason selection. So Marquette is bringing some firepower back, and they've added some depth, and this is a team that's going to be reckoned with, and they'll get their first big test coming up next week in the Gavitt Games when they travel to Bloomington, Indiana.
No doubt about it, and I think they're going to be up for the task. It's one of the best facilities in all of college basketball, so there won't be any extra motivation needed by either team.
Here's Leon Red on the drive. Gets it to Bailey. Bailey attacking. Here's Pope. Can't get it to go. Duffus calming things down. 10 on the shot clock. He picks up his dribble. Here's Red trying to get past Brendan Bailey. Pulls up for three. Good defensive stance by the Golden Eagles.
Bethune-Cookman foul 22.
Isaiah Bailey picks up his 5th foul. He fouls out. The Wildcats' main offensive weapon is done for the game with 4:31 to go. But Bailey had a great game. Number 22 ends up with 22 points on the afternoon.
He did an excellent job, and he's going to be their main focal point come conference play. But a lot of times, these teams from the MEAC and the SWAC, they have to play extremely tough non-conference schedules to fund their programs, and Bethune-Cookman is no exception. But it's a rare combination for coaches in this situation to maintain a level of confidence when you're getting beaten by double digits on the road by these power conference teams. And Ryan Ritter, he found the formula last season, and as long as Isaiah Bailey can score the way he did today, I think he'll have success this year as well.
Duffus with a good drive there to make it an 83-56 Marquette lead. Ed Morrow doing the work down on the blocks.
I think Ed Morrow got lucky on that one. That thing slipped out of his hand and still dropped. But he won't tell you that in film tomorrow.
Absolutely not. Marquette up big with 3:57 to go in the second half. Let's take a look at the Jeep Grand Cherokee stat comparison. Isaiah Bailey, 22 points to lead the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, but that's all the points he will have as he is fouled out. But, Stephen, this has clearly been the Marcus Howard show.
It really has, and he's been really smooth with it. And listen to this. Howard's 37 points is the most by a Marquette player at home since Steve Novak's 41-point, 16-rebound effort in the first ever Big East game against UConn.
Wow.
So this is an outstanding effort by Marcus Howard early here in the season.
This is how you break in your new home.
That's right. That's right. I know the Milwaukee Bucks have gotten off to a strong start, but Golden Eagles have as well.
And you brought up a name, Steve Novak, a former Golden Eagle, another Golden Eagle making some news this afternoon. Jimmy Butler traded to the Philadelphia 76ers.
That's going to be interesting.
That's going to be very interesting. That changes the landscape of the Eastern Conference quite a bit.
Yeah, that's if he doesn't go Kanye North. You know what I mean? I'm not in favor of players holding franchises hostage like that. I didn't particularly care for that.
Yes. You're getting paid a lot of money to do something you used to do for free.
Exactly, Telly. Thank you. You hit it on the head.
So,
and, you know, the fans that come and pay good money to come to these games, you decide to sit out because you want to get traded. That doesn't sit well with me.
Matt Hill checks back into the game. Ed Morrow will take a seat. That'll most likely do it for Morrow, who had a solid outing with 2:58 to go.
You know, these are important games because they build confidence for individual players, and you need that confidence moving forward.
Absolutely. And that's DeAndre Duffus getting the and one. Matt Hill commits the foul. Duffus has a chance to complete the three-point play. This matchup between Bethune-Cookman and Marquette is the first of a triple header. Coming up next is Central Connecticut at Georgetown.
It'll be interesting to see the Hoyas. I'm going to see them next Tuesday at the House of Pain at University of Illinois. I'm looking forward to seeing Jesse Govan and also Mac McClung, the freshman at Georgetown.
He has some hops.
He's got some
serious hops.
And he's got a serious following on Instagram as well.
Yes. Kane drains another three. Jamal Kane now with 6 points on 2 3-pointers.
Tell you what, Kane is able.
He sure is today. Hill not expecting that pass from Hauser. There's Armani Collins with a 3-try. There's Chartouni. And the Golden Eagles enjoying a comfortable lead with under 2 minutes to go. Here's Joey Hauser fouled. You just missing Jesse Govan for the Georgetown Hoyas. Those are his numbers from Tuesday's season opener against Maryland Eastern Shore. Solid night, 13 points, 7 boards, 2 blocks.
He's got a great feel for the game for big. I mean, he can face up, shoot the mid-range jumper. He can extend it to 3-point line. If you don't double him on the post, he can, you know, he's got some great moves in the post. He's not the fastest guy, but he didn't have to be. He plays a great pace and understanding of the game.
Joey Hauser knocks down a pair of free throws. He now has 11 points. And if you're wondering why all of a sudden got so loud, students get free pizza. And there's nothing, those are the 2 best words a college student can hear. Free pizza.
Right, that's right. That's spot on, Telly. Yeah, I would add 2 more words when I was in college, but we'll keep that off air.
So with that 90th points, get free pizza. So this is going to be a joyous Saturday.
I'll tell you what, man, you don't have to be a college student to like free pizza. I do as well. I wish.
We don't have a ticket to redeem, though, so how can we prove we were here?
I don't know. That's a great question. Maybe Coach Woj might be able to hook us up with something. He's pretty pleased with his team. They didn't keep him to 50, but they're still shy of 60. And listen, Isaiah Bailey got going early, so he got his points, but they did a fantastic job of really shutting off everyone else and limiting what the Wildcats, their good looks.
Yes, this is another good showing in Marquette, who will go to 2-0 in their new nest here at Fiserv Forum. But they'll have to take this show on the road in their next contest. Here's Hauser over to Kane. Can he make it 3 for 3? He's short on that 3 attempt. Chartouni to the basket. That's out of bounds. As we take a look at Marquette's upcoming schedule, on Wednesday, they will take on Indiana on FS1. And they return to Fiserv Forum next Saturday against Presbyterian. And then #1 Kansas looms after next Saturday's game. So Coach Woj and the Golden Eagles getting themselves ready for some tougher competition coming up. Paying attention to details, and they had a good game on both ends of the court, Stephen.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, you got your main guy, Marcus Howard, going offensively. They're locked in defensively. They're building. This is a building block. And early in the year, you just want to establish those habits. Coach Woj got on them when they were up 25. But they'll understand why he did that when they go to that hornet's nest called Assembly Hall down at Indiana University.
Absolutely. That'll be a great one once again. That's coming up on Wednesday, part of the Gavitt Games. As Golden Eagles will take the shot clock violation. Up 92-59. And that will do it. It's Coach Woj and the Marquette Golden Eagles take down Bethune-Cookman 92-59 in an impressive game by that man there, #0, Marcus Howard.
Yeah, you know what? Marcus Howard rarely has 2 bad games in a row. You know, he's very efficient. 10 of 16. You shoot 16 times and you drop 37. I think your new nickname for him is an appropriate one.
Absolutely. Marcus Howard getting it done for the Marquette Golden Eagles as we take a look at how he got those 37 points.
Well, that set everything up, that first drive. And when you get a layup to go, all of a sudden that 3-point shot looks a lot better. And we know that he can do that. Rocks his defender to sleep, elevates with ease. And then off the offensive rebound is one of the best times to take a 3-point shot, and he understands that.
And Coach Woj really wants to emphasize defense because he knows he has the scores.
I agree, because Marquette has great length. They're not the tallest team that you're going to see, but length is so important on the defensive end. And they've got a plethora of that. And defense is effort and desire. That's something that you can bring each and every night. And if you're going to be a championship ball club, Coach Woj knows that that effort and desire has to be there on a consistent basis.
Games last year and getting a chance to establish that low post presence. What do you think of his effort in his first career start?
I think that the bench is the ultimate motivator, and when you want to get off of it, Theo his shots.
Dominates 92-59 for Stephen Bardo and our entire crew. I'm Telly Hughes. Let's send it to Wayne Rendazzo and Tarek Turner for Central Connecticut at Georgetown.